Hi guys, this is Lauren with Lauren Watkins Art, and today I am trying to reacquaint myself with the beautiful medium of gouache. I have been very sporadic with my usage of gouache over the last 8 to 10 years, and I wanted to reacquaint myself and get familiar with it again because the last time I used it was about almost 4 years ago. And I had forgotten a whole bunch about gouache and how to use it. So I opened up my sketchbook and I started with just painting a nice dark background. I decided to do like a repeating pattern for this first gouache painting because I knew if I tried to do something realistic or too complicated, I would get overwhelmed. So this first piece is just basically me doodling with the paints. I did a nice dark background, and then I'm going to just do simple leaf and floral motifs across the page in a random pattern just to get me refamiliarized with how these paints layer, how the colors mix, how they lay down, all of those details that you need to keep in mind when you're painting. I don't know what it is about gouache, but I found when I was flipping through my gouache sketchbooks that I almost always work on it in February and March. I will go long stretches without touching it at all, but most of my paintings that are in my gouache sketchbooks were created in January and March. There's something about those winter months that I need something new and exciting to fill my cold, dead spirit with joy, and apparently gouache is my version of medication because it works. I have so much fun playing with gouache when I actually remember to use it. So I'm really glad that the YouTube algorithm started sending me a bunch of gouache painting videos because it reminded me, one, that I have this beautiful medium, and two, I really should paint with it. I was quickly reminded about how weird it is for me to mix with white paint. You see, I almost always paint with watercolor. I very rarely use paints like acrylic paints or gouache or anything like that. So when I start mixing with these more opaque mediums, it always feels wrong. The colors seem off because I'm used to looking at those colors from a transparent perspective. I'm used to looking at those colors and figuring out how they are going to respond with the white of the paper or the layers that I already have on the paper. Where when I'm mixing on the palette, I am adding white. These paints are opaque from the get-go, and those colors can feel chalky or milky, and the paints won't always behave the same way when I'm trying to color mix because that white is a new factor that I'm not used to. So it takes me a while to get back in the habit of color mixing when I'm using an opaque medium like gouache. I think that was part of the reason why I chose to do a simple pattern like this, because if the colors are off just a little bit, it's not going to make a difference. So I had to remind myself about color mixing when you're using an opaque medium. Another thing I had to quickly remind myself of was that while it's like acrylic paints, in the sense that it's opaque and you can do layers of color on top, it is still very much a form of watercolor. And the layers underneath can get reactivated if you get too much moisture on your paper. Whether it is because the layer of paint you put on top was too runny, or if it's because I wasn't paying attention to how much water was on the bristles of my brush or on the barrel of my brush and that water dripped down. I really needed to pay attention to water and whether my paper was still damp or the paint was still damp or how much moisture was on my paintbrush, because it can really mess up your painting and get really frustrating. So I very quickly was making sure my paper was completely dry before I added another layer of paint. I also started by working with thin layers of paint, and then as I was working, I did thicker and thicker layers of paint that had less moisture in it. That way I had less issues with the paint being reactivated with each layer. I think part of why this was a challenge for me to get back in the habit of doing was while I'm used to making sure my paper is completely dry between layers and I'm using a soft brush and a soft hand when I'm applying the paints so I don't reactivate those earlier layers of paint, when I'm trying to make a color lighter, I add more water to it. And so I kept reverting back to that when I was mixing on my palette. And that is not what I should have been doing. I should have been adding more white to that paint to lighten it up. because when I tried to lighten up my color by adding water to it, the paint became too thin and then it behaved weird on my paper and would reactivate those paints. So it was kind of a weird thing for my brain to get used to again. But eventually I figured it out and I got back into the swing of things. While this painting doesn't really have a focal point and it's just kind of this repeating pattern, I wanted to create a little bit of a feeling of depth within the piece. That's why I started with the really dark background so that the florals can kind of come forward. But I also wanted to create a little bit of depth and dimension within the plants. So those earlier layers were a little bit darker in value and they tended to lean a little bit more cool toned so that they would recede visually when I added warmer and lighter value colors on top of that. And that's just creating a little bit of a feeling of depth within the piece. I ended up really enjoying this painting, and I enjoyed it so much that I did several more right after because I was just able to kind of enter a creative flow state. I didn't have to stress about color mixing too much. I didn't have to stress about layering. I didn't have to stress about trying to make something look super realistic. These are all just simple shapes, simple patterns that I was repeating over and over again. And that really helped my brain relax and not feel as stressed or bogged down. So I ended up doing several paintings like this. I also found that when I was going into the studio and I wasn't feeling very creative when I went in, I did some more paintings that were similar to this, where it's just kind of repetitive, simple botanical patterns. I was able to shift back into a creative mode because sometimes when I've spent the morning doing a lot of adult responsibilities like getting my kids out the door for school, paying bills, taking phone calls with insurance companies or whatever it is, I have a hard time being creative after that. And I found this kind of simple painting style that is low stakes, just repetitive patterns. I was able to easily shift from, serious version of me to creative version of me. So I think I will be doing more of these for warm-ups when I'm trying to shift into that creative mindset. I also enjoyed this because I love botanicals. I love florals. I love plants. I love working outside of my garden. And being able to paint flowers when it's too cold to actually grow flowers is a way for me to find joy. And it's one of the things that keeps me happy in the winter months. And when I was painting this, I was thinking about all of these different flowers and where I'm going to be planting them in my garden, because I love cone flowers. I love asters. I love, salvias and lavenders. And I was just thinking about where these are growing in my garden already and where I was going to put them in the new flower bed that my husband has so kindly volunteered to help me build this coming spring. He may have been volunteered to help me with that. He might not have volunteered, but either way, it's going to be amazing. But now I'm just going in and adding the final details to this painting. And I'm doing these little pale pink flowers just to get a little bit more of a lighter contrast and kind of a little bit of a sparkle to the piece. I'm adding a few little highlights to some of the purple salvia plants that I painted, just so some of these have a little bit more of a two-tone effect to them and just to create a little bit more visual interest. I liked the two-tone effect so much on the purple flowers that I decided to add a warm pale pink to the cone flowers. Those are the flowers that you're kind of seeing a side profile of. And I decided to do a warm pink on that so that it kind of came forward visually and we had a little bit of contrast in terms of temperature with the petals that were already there. So it just created a little bit more interest in the piece as a whole. Then I started the final few tweaks and adjustments where I decided to add these little white speckles just to add a little bit of sparkle into the painting and fill in some of the empty spots. And then once I was completely happy with how that looked, I let it dry completely, and then I did the most satisfying thing, and that is removing the tape so that you get a nice clean white border. There's something about this that just makes the painting come together and look so much better. So I absolutely love that stage. Just the weird things you love as an artist. And then I named entitled the painting, I dated it, and then I just wrote down what medium I was using, and this one is 100% gouache. And this painting ended up turning out quite beautiful. I really loved it. It reminded me of a garden at night and just has a fun sense of whimsy to it. So that is the finished painting. Thanks for sticking around, and look for more gouache videos as I reacquaint myself with this beautiful medium. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.